Elara Voss had always been the quiet type. She lived in a small town where everyone knew everyone, yet somehow she remained invisible despite her kindness, soft laugh, and gentle presence. At 32, she had mastered the art of settling for less attention, less affection, less happiness. She convinced herself she didn't mind. She convinced herself she didn't need more. She told herself love would eventually find her, maybe drift into her life the way morning sunlight slowly warmed her kitchen floor. But instead, the years passed, and love felt more like an echo, something she heard from a distance but never touched. Then, on a rainy Monday morning, everything changed. She was leaving the bookstore where she worked when she nearly collided with a stranger rushing inside. He apologized, breathless, dripping rainwater onto the mat. His name was Aiden Rourke. Tall, neat, piercing eyes, and a smile that felt like it could pull her heart toward it. He talked to her like she mattered. He laughed at her awkward jokes. And the next day, he returned. And the day after that, day by day, Aiden slipped into her world with the ease of a man who belonged there. Buying books he had no real interest in, asking questions he already knew the answers to, leaning in just a little closer than necessary. His attention was a warmth she had never felt before, a spotlight she wasn't used to but desperately welcomed. Soon, the whole town knew he was courting her. Their connection was fast, intoxicating, almost unreal. Aiden made her feel chosen.
Special. Seen.
He remembered small details, her favorite tea, the way she tapped her fingers when nervous, how she always tucked her hair behind her ear. Within weeks, he became her routine, her comfort, her possibility, and just as quickly, he became something else. The first warning sign was small. A comment about one of her friends. "You're too good to waste time with people who don't appreciate you," he'd said with a soft smile. She brushed it off as protectiveness. Then he questioned why she still talked to her ex from years ago. Then he gently discouraged her from going out with coworkers, insisting she deserved rest instead. He said it with tenderness.
Concern.
Devotion. Love. But his grip slowly tightened. He memorized her schedule without asking. He waited outside her job, even when she didn't mention when she'd be off. He knew her routines down to the minute. He said he was being attentive. She told herself she was lucky. But late at night, a tightness grew in her stomach she couldn't quite name. Everything shifted the night she found the paper. Aiden had left his wallet on her kitchen counter. She wasn't snooping, she was cleaning. But when it fell open, a folded document slipped out. Her curiosity became dread as she unfolded it. A restraining order, filed by a woman named Mara Ellington. Accusations, manipulation, stalking, violent tendencies, unpredictable behavior. Thunder cracked outside as Elara read the details. Her hands shook. She didn't want to believe it. Didn't want to believe the charming man she was falling for had a past soaked in lies. She didn't know what to do. Didn't know whether to confront him. Then she felt a warm breath behind her. She turned slowly. Aiden stood there, quiet, expression unreadable, and took the paper from her trembling hands. "You weren't supposed to see that," he whispered. Something in his voice made her heart drop. The days that followed felt heavy, suffocating. He explained everything with polished ease. Mara had lied, he said. She had been unstable. She fabricated the order to punish him for ending the relationship. His tone was calm, practiced. Elara wanted to believe him.
Needed to.
Admitting the truth meant admitting she had opened her heart to danger. But Aiden changed. He asked why she took longer than usual in the shower. He questioned every text she sent. He had a key to her apartment and stopped knocking. He walked in whenever he wanted, as if the place belonged to him. Slowly, subtly, he began controlling every piece of her life. One night, Elara was brushing her hair when she heard her front door unlock unexpectedly. She wasn't expecting anyone. She stepped into the hallway just as Aiden entered, soaked from the rain. His eyes were dark. Something was off. He held her phone in his hand, showing her the screen. 54 missed calls. "I just wanted time alone," she whispered. He stepped close, too close. His voice was quiet, dangerous. "You don't need time alone. You need me." When she whispered, "Aiden, you're scaring me," his expression shifted to something she couldn't name. Satisfaction. As if her fear was the response he'd been waiting for. 2 days later, she received a message from an unknown number. 3 words that made her blood freeze. "You're not safe." It was from Mara Ellington. After a long moment of panic, Elara called the number. Mara's voice was tired, fragile. Listen to me. Aiden doesn't fall in love. He attaches. He obsesses. And when he feels like he's losing control, he becomes someone else. What do I do? Elara whispered. You run, Mara said. And you don't stop. Elara began planning. She hid cash, packed a bag, waited for the night Aiden said he'd be on an overnight business trip. But she didn't know he had already sensed her fear. She didn't know he had placed a recording device under her kitchen table. And she didn't know that earlier that day, he had listened to her rehearsing her escape aloud. He didn't confront her. He simply watched, waited, calculated. That night, at midnight, Elara stepped out of her apartment with her bag. Every sound felt magnified. The click of the lock, the whisper of the hallway, her own breath. She hurried toward her car, heart pounding, then the driver's window rolled down. Aiden was inside. I thought you might try something stupid tonight, he said gently. Her chest tightened. Panic surged. He stepped out of the car, calm and deliberate. Get in, Elara. We can fix this. She backed away. Her hands trembled. Tears formed. He stepped closer, but suddenly, headlights flooded the parking lot. Tires screeched. A car turned in, illuminating everything. Aiden froze in the beam. A predator caught mid-step. Elara ran. She bolted past him, past the cars, toward the main road. She heard him shouting, footsteps pounding behind her. Elara, don't do this. You belong to me. But she didn't stop. Not this time. She kept running until she reached the lights and noise of a nearby gas station, where people turned to look at her tear-streaked face. Aiden didn't follow her inside. Later, with Mara's help, police arrested Aiden. Not for a single crime, but for many. Women stepped forward, each one with a story that resembled hers. Patterns emerged. His charm was a weapon. His love was camouflage. His devotion was a trap. Elara wasn't the first. But she was one of the few who escaped before it was too late. Healing wasn't easy. Some nights, she woke hearing his voice echoing through her mind. Some nights, she checked her locks 3, 4, 5 times. Some nights, she wondered how she ever confused obsession for love, but she survived. She found strength she didn't know she had. She learned that real love does not demand silence. Real love does not shrink your world. Real love does not watch you like prey. Elara never looked for love the same way again. She understood now that some dangers do not announce themselves loudly. Some come dressed in charm and warmth and perfect smiles. She had wanted a love that made her feel chosen. Instead, she found a darkness that nearly consumed her. But she ran. She escaped. She lived. The last love she ever wanted was the first man she ever had to fear.